Hey, Matt. What's up?
I'm one of the organizers of this.
What?
I did eat the salami because I love it.
One more.
Shut it down. Indian Point is unsafe. We know. Shut it down. Shut it down. Indian Point has to go right now. Woohoo! Fuel every year, and she can swear on Bibles that it's safe, secure, and vital, but we're sure not gonna swallow what we hear. No way! If energy keeps spinning, what is fun? And their fight for realizing is one. 20 million on the road will move from their new abode. Japan gave us some qualms. Where will we find the answer to protecting folks from cancer who haven't yet been blown to kingdom come? Bring us solar, bring us hydro, bring us wind. Bring us energy from sources that will end. Before we could trust your radio, we need holes in our radio. We haven't yet gone that far around the bend. No, sir. That just fits in there. So Mike check. Mike check. Are we here today? Yay! Thanks for coming. Can we start? Sure. Thank you for coming today. Do you know why we are here today? Yes. Shout it out. Why we are here today? No one knew. Yes. I have some speech that I don't want to do. I need some cheating sheets. We are here today because the last year of today, gigantic earthquake and tsunami killed about 20,000 people in Japan, and that triggers nuclear disaster in Fukushima in Japan. We are here today because we want to let the world know that Fukushima is not over, and Fukushima is everywhere. We are here today because Fukushima nuclear power plants are still leaking radiation, crazy amount of radiation into the environment right at this moment. 100
60,000 people are displaced and living under temporary environments. 60,000 people relocated themselves to outside of Fukushima Prefecture. Yet, 2 million people are still living inside of the Fukushima Prefecture, worried about getting exposed to radiation every day, every minute, right at this moment. Yet, the Japanese government and 1% nuclear industry is still looking for profit, not making any effort to protect our children, our people. How many people know that U.S. government said to its citizens in Japan that 50 miles radius from Fukushima nuclear power plant do not live over a year? How many people know that we New Yorkers have Indian Point nuclear power plants up in Hudson River 30 miles away? And how many people realize if something happened to Indian Point, we right here where we stand will be included evacuation zone. 400 years from now, people will remember about today, March 11th, as the day that huge damage has been done to our planet. And people in the future will remember how people today act on it, whether we act on it to end nuclear or to end us. We are here today to protect ourselves and our children and our future and our planet. We are here today to say no to nuclear power, nuclear money, nuclear industry. We are here today to support people in Japan, and how we support people by shutting down Indian Point. Thank you. That's why we're here today. Shut down Indian Point. So, so now, there's a people who wants to talk. We will have 1 minute each to everyone who wants to speak. And the first one is Tom from Shutdown Indian Point.
Hi, my name is Tom Serkius. I'm the Vice Chair of Shutdown Indian Point Now. My name is Tom Serkius. I'm the Vice Chair of Shutdown Indian Point Now. Nuclear energy, power plants, and the connected nuclear weapons industry are the greatest threat to the survival of this planet. We must completely get off both nuclear weapons and nuclear energy. We have 104 nuclear power plants in this country alone, and we haven't built one since the disaster at 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania. So these nuclear power plants are 40 years old, their licenses are coming up for renewal, and they must not be renewed. Unfortunately, the Obama administration has already authorized the building of, for the first time in 40 years, 2 new nuclear power plants in Georgia. So we have to get the word out, put massive pressure on Congress and the administration to phase out nuclear power plants completely. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is to phase out all dirty fossil fuel energy. Coal, oil, gas, fracking, deep sea drilling, the whole thing, because the future of the planet is at stake. What we have to do is to put all of our efforts into clean, renewable energy, solar, wind, wave and tidal power. That's where our future lies, and that's where we have to struggle for. Thank you very much.
Video for the news.
井上真理さん、どこですか？伊藤さん。伊藤さん。
伊藤さん。
伊藤さん。
はいはいはい。
どうぞ。時間になったらこれ出しますんで。
Get your photo too.
Hello, my name is Kazuko Ito. I'm a Japan-based human rights activist and Secretary General of the Human Rights Now. I come to New York with the family from Fukushima, including 3 children, in order to appeal what's going on in Fukushima after the nuclear disaster. After 1 year, the nuclear disaster has not been solved at all. Rather, the situation is deteriorating. Many people in Fukushima are still living in very contaminated area. You know, huge amount of nuclear materials were released, which is 168 times of that released after Hiroshima. However, without any protection measure, without any compensation, and without any support of the evacuation, many people are still living in the contaminated area. And we don't really know, and we are really concerned what will be going on in the future, especially girls, boys, children, and expecting mother. Girls are talking. Can we have children in the future? And can we survive? However, government is not going to take any measure. So that's why I come here to appeal international community and to get involved and raise awareness to protect the citizen. It's a matter of the right of life and right of the health of the people, especially women, children, and most vulnerable people.
How do you call this? Pink this.
Armband.
Yes, is the organizer. So if you want to talk to organizer, come to talk to people with the pink. And we have, we organize this out of our pockets money. So please give us donation to keep us going. There's a...
I said mic check!
Mic check!
I'm here today
I'm here today
because we are all Fukushima!
because we're all Fukushima.
Because we're the 99%!
We're the 99%
From New York
from New York
to Japan!
to Japan.
We need to fight nuclear power!
We'll fight nuclear power
Together!
together.
We have a lot more in common with each other
We have a lot more in common with each other
than we do with our rulers
than we do with our rulers
who are pushing nuclear power on us
who are pushing nuclear power on us
and nuclear weapons.
and nuclear weapons.
Nuclear power is just a friendly green face
Nuclear power is just a friendly green face
of the world destruction that nuclear weapons represent.
of the world destruction that nuclear weapons represent.
Please don't repeat everything I say, I'm sorry. But I think it's important that we acknowledge we are on the brink of a war with Iran, a country that is supposedly developing nuclear weapons. When in the meantime, there is a nuclear weapon holder in the Middle East, and it's Israel, and they have not signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Before Occupy Wall Street really got going, I was here in Union Square because a young black man from Georgia was killed, and his name was Troy Davis. And we walked, and we took over Broadway, and we marched down to Zuccotti because we acknowledged this system of exploitation was at the root of capitalism. That same spirit of solidarity is here today when we say we are all Fukushima. Here in New York, we are at risk of a Fukushima-style disaster. Nuclear power is a disaster. It kills fish. It radiates our water. It leaks. It's an aging nuclear power plant that is ripe for an even bigger disaster. And when we mobilize and hit to the streets, that means something. That means that our voice, our collective voice, is more powerful than the weapons manufacturers and the people that make this destructive energy and push it upon us. Every time we invest in a nuclear power plant or a nuclear weapon, that is a step away from peace. That is a step away from a greener tomorrow. And by building a mass environmental movement, we can have the kind of world, the democratic, sustainable world that we need to survive as a planet. We are the 99%, and there is power in that. There is power in acknowledging that there is a group of 1% that exploits us, that relies on destructive energy to survive like a vampire. So I want to say this in conclusion. We gotta keep going, keep hitting the streets. Occupy is not dead, it is very much alive, and because you are here today. And what we gotta do is organize, 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 hit meetings, and fight back. And one day, maybe we'll feel confident enough to break with the Democratic Party, because brothers and sisters, Obama is pretty pro-nuclear. So I want to say two things, and they're not going to be very, how do you say, they're not going to be a soundbite. So here's one. Come to Occupy Wall Street's environmental solid.
Oh, 1, 2, 6. Oh, we are a gaggle of grannies, urging you off your fannies. Indian point is a dangerous joint. Shut it down. Get all that energy spending to keep their license from ending. You think they go broke with mirrors and smoke? Shut it down. The NRC approves them. They tell us so cleverly. The NRC is a lapdog of the nuclear industry. So they be a gaggle of grannies, but we've gotten off of our panties. Stop energy spinning and they lose, we win. Shut it down. Shut it down. And we mean business. Shut it down. Page 2, no nuclear proliferation, written by Corinne Willinger in the funny hat. Oh, the audience. Go ahead. We must stop this global spread for the people of the whole world have to live in fear and dread. We must all help all the nations. We cannot have nuclear war. Peace and justice, common safety, that is what we're marching for. We must destroy atomic weapons. We must make them disappear. We cannot have our lives shattered, and those bombs are everywhere. Fukushima tells a story that no fission power has worth. have seen its devastation spread across much of the earth. 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl sent the message to beware. Fukushima shows that we must end this power everywhere.
By Sunny Harbor, who lives 6 miles from the nuclear power plant. She writes a lot of songs for Indian Point. Shut it down!
We dedicate this song to courageous workers trying to keep the Fukushima nuclear plant from melting down, and remind you that in New York City, we are endangered by the Indian Point power plant located within 40 miles of this street. Energy owns this plant, and the nuclear industry owns the NRC.
I'd like to say something to anybody out there with children. I have 2 teenagers. If they grow up to live and work within the New York area, they are in danger of nuclear poisoning from the Indian Point power plant. If you are raising children who will live in the New York area, your children are in danger of nuclear poisoning from the Indian Point power plant. Shut it down.
Earthquakes can happen here, no, but under the Indian Point plant lurks the fault zone that's programmable. Before a quake, there could be terrorists. They know there's a big target here. We must stop the push to relicense. We cannot wait even 1 year. Shut it down, shut it down. Indian Point is unsafe, we know. Shut it down, shut it down. Indian Point has to go. And look for evacuation. If Indian Point should melt down, go Chester, those roads for escaping. And learn you can't get out of town. Oh, NRC, rule as you ought to. You know you should issue a ban to save New York State from such horrors as the tragic events in Japan. Shut it down, shut it down. Indian Point is unsafe, we know. Shut it down, shut it down. Indian Point has to go. Right now!
Thank you for giving us Granny. Thank you.
3月の30日にパーティーをし日本から出てきて金は出てきて
keep those abilities smothered. Using the science of destruction, they built civilizations dependent on material things and created religion to force their self-serving rules on a bewildered populace. While behind the scenes, they monopolized energy and built money-based economies, stuffing out our powerful natural abilities. Over thousands of years, genetic memory loss set in. After numerous reincarnations, here we are, having completely forgotten those abilities. We all have collective amnesia. Talking about four-dimensional science and philosophy made for people who have no interest in fantasy. So let me put it as simply. For a long time, some people have made money by destroying nature and irresponsibly making dangerous products, all which using the media to deceive the masses and inflicting horrible pain and suffering on those in harmony with nature. But peek deep into Pandora's box, and you will see advanced technologies that harness natural energy without destroying nature. With technologies like solar power and other renewables, we can get all the electricity that we need. We can get all the electricity that we need without destroying, without nuclear power. We could shut down all the nuclear power plants and easily make up the difference by operating a hydroelectronic and thermal power plants at full capacity. But powerful interests hide this fact from us. Why? It's all because of money. It's all because of money. All those people who are chasing money are terminally insane. So let me tell you what happened in Japan. Out there, power company got up to $30 billion in subsidies from the government to build a nuclear power plant. Once the repentance showed them, the power company showed the locals with money. They take the guys to hot springs and all the people to hot springs. Wine and dine. And they write to them about nuclear plant being good for the local economy. They actually have a manual on how to use money to divide the community into supporters and opponents. Fishermen even sell off their fishing rights for enormous sums. Then there's PR that's nothing but propaganda about safety measures and secret dangerous experiments. Where does the money for all that come from? From everyone's taxes. This is how Japan has aggressively constructed 59 nuclear power plants, either operating, decommissioned, or planned. That means our families and friends are now living with over 50 time bombs strapped to their bodies. If even one blows up, the entire area around it becomes uninhabitable for all living things, and contamination slowly spreads all over. That's not pleasant to imagine. Japan situation at all. It's pathetic. Don't say you support nuclear power until you know the real history. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the radiation exposure from Lucky Dragon 5, the United Nations peaceful uses of atom in the 50s, which was just a cover-up for the Cold War nuclear development race between the US and Soviet Union. The nuclear energy plants drafted by America and sold to the public by Matsutaro Shoriki's Yomiuri newspaper and TV station. Then came to uranium to Japan. Once you learn the history, I think you will change your mind. Once you see the negative chain reaction that nuclear energy has throughout our society, it'll make you want to puke. If you have a heart, that is. Televisions and newspapers are the tools for deceiving the public. And it's really bad in Japan too. The TV news is about absolutely horrible. Only now have they even started
and now the country is working to go without it. Japan already has the technology to get by with just natural energy. But that fact is covered up with lies and fear-mongering. All for profit. Would you please wake up? How can you be so apathetic? At the Rokasho nuclear reprocessing plant in Aomori, nuclear waste leaked from a 3,000-ton pool. There was too much liquid waste to bury, so they dumped it in the ocean. Can you believe that? And they're hiding that from everyone. There is so much nuclear material there that if the plant ever exploded, forget about Japan. The whole world would be finished. There are so many facts that your government is hiding from you about nuclear power.
Those planned blackouts in Japan during the last summer were outrageous! They intentionally did that to fool people into believing that we need nuclear power energy. That ain't true! Some people even died because of those blackouts for nothing! Japan has so much electrical power that more and more homes and buildings are switching to electricity-only power. Think about it! Everyone! Japan has hot springs almost everywhere, so there's plenty of hot water underground for geothermal energy. Japan is an island! Then we can create energy from the tides and ocean that's unlimited! Japan also has high-tech power transmission lines that could almost eliminate electricity waste. The lines we use now to transmit electricity from power plants to your homes and office buildings actually waste a lot of power. We have amazing technology. If we had the money for that stuff, then we absolutely can achieve the goal of getting by natural energy alone. So then why don't we? Because of nuclear weapons and money. Very damn money. And then money has them in a feeding frenzy. Japan they create new power company monopolies. So they themselves are illegal. Well, they're paying tax for. It's all about money. 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 Sure, money is important, but there are more important things than money. You can buy a house, but you can't buy a home. Money buys you a watch, but it can't buy you time. You can buy a book, but you cannot buy knowledge. You can buy a bed, but you cannot buy sleep. Money pays the doctor, but it can't cure disease. Buying electricity destroys nature.
Hey, Frank.
A lot of people feel frustrated
Method demo.
because they want to help, but all they can think about is sending in some donations.
I'll call you back, Frank.
Donating money does help, but how many people think about how that money is spent or who benefits from it? Many people send in donations out of guilt, but they don't really care. One thing we can do is democratize electric power. In Kyoto, whenever you dig a hole, you hit a hot spring. So the city could create a power grid where every
nuclear power. But I just can't. Not with all the lies we've been told. Irresponsible people, they have left us those contaminated wastes that will plague the planet for who knows how many generations. The electricity companies, the nuclear and industrial safety agencies, WHO, NRC, IAPA, ICRP, bureaucrats, politicians, bankers, corporate executives, all those people, fucking people who are just chasing money, and industry-sponsored scientists. They're all chasing money around just like characters in a comedy show, and we're all sick and tired of watching the show. If we pursue the truth and keep our eyes on those criminals, if we open our eyes to reality, to see what things should change, we will be able to visualize creatively and come up with concrete ideas. We will also figure out how everything we lost over thousands of years can be regained. Even though that process might take 1,000 years again, we can still do it. But no matter what, we don't need nuclear energy and nuclear weapons. Our ignorance and obedience will only destroy us. I'm not talking about having enough power or not, because we can live without electricity, but we cannot live without nature. This damage is already irreversible. Not mention animals and plants we are harming by our egotistical ways. We know who we should really feel sorry for? The children. They are the future. If we don't, who the hell will protect these kids? 50, 100, or 200 years from now, people might think look back on our generation and call us bunch of fucking murderers or something. If we see the truth behind the lies, we can change the world with overnight without any weapon on us. There's one thing we should aim for. No matter what the tours we take,
wanted to say hi?
Hi, Ken.
April edition.
Okay.
take love! No nuclear weapons! I'll take love!
Sayonara!
The only country that ever did anything was the USA.
What's the greatest act of terrorism in history? French terrorized by killing civilians en masse.
Oh, the Crusades?
No, the most successful, biggest terrorist act in history. Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I wouldn't agree with that because there was 20,000 death camps in Germany and Poland.
Yeah, but it was also the most successful because it terrorized Japan.
As far as something getting over and done with in a split second, aside from the 2-year, 3-year effort to build it.
Right, a terror bomb.
To kill so many people in a split second, that was the most terrorist act.
Yeah.
But sheer numbers of people died.
And it was also
the Nazi regime and the Stalin
Sure. But it was also the most successful because it's a model for all other terrorism because it succeeded in terrorizing the Japanese nation into complete surrender. But then they did. They Yeah. And Dresden, actually, they killed more civilians. I thought it was more, but...
fucking thing, too.
Go in the middle and pop your balloon.
Yeah, unlike the nukes.
But it's not like a
So now we happen to be right next to the house of Mr. Gentleman, Japanese consulate general. We want to go to his house and friendly remind him that his government is disrupting our lives. We have something to tell him, I think. Don't you think?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Want me to take? Okay, so let's go take a seat there.
So let's go.
Who's gonna ring his buzzer? Let's go up. Excuse me, man. Well, can you tell him to stop by? Yeah, when should we come back? I don't know. Come on! Maybe it's once ago, my block off.
What happened to the speech last night? I was so disappointed.
No, he's not home. He's not home.
But I wouldn't say it. Is that okay?
I prefer if you didn't. There's nobody to hear you.
Well, the neighbors can hear. That's good for them to know who they're next to.
I was so disappointed by your speech last night. You didn't mention anything about nuclear power plants or evacuees from Fukushima. That was really sad. If you learn any lesson from Fukushima, you have to tell the world that nuclear energy is not okay. Please take responsibility and accountability to protect people's lives in the world, and tell people what's going on in Fukushima and in Japan. Contamination is everywhere. That's right. Yeah. Japan has to leave the
Coward, come down.
Your government is promoting nuclear energy and even trying to restart nuclear reactors that are in maintenance. 再稼働やめろ。再稼働やめろ。再稼働やめろ。再稼働やめろ。
Sayonara nukes! Sayonara nukes!
Sayonara nukes! Sayonara nukes! Sayonara gonna come back if you do anything not to protect people of Japan and in the world. Be responsible. We're gonna be back every day. Don't screw us, right?
Wait, well, you can get that girl when you see it. Oh, that is polluted.
We're totally within the law.
Maybe we should call the police. He just broke the law.
Breaking the law. That's city property. That's not private property. Every street tree in the city is city property.
Well, he's not supposed
City property. City property. You have nothing to say about him leaving something on a street tree. They may take care of them, but it's not your property.
But they don't want that there.
It's the city's property. How do you know the city doesn't want that?
But they don't want it.
They don't own this. The city does. It does matter.
Because they take care of it.
It doesn't matter that they take care of it. It still belongs to the city. We don't care if they like it or not. It doesn't matter whether they like it or not.
My job is not to let anybody.
Your job is to obey the law and protect it.